Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So, Taurus, tonight we have, yes, the Seven of Cups. It's all about debauchery, right? What is debauchery? Now, take a look at this. It reminds me of one of those old, what was it called? The trash pail kids? Is that what they were called? Trash pail. I don't know. Let me look it up really quick. Oh my gosh. I think so. I don't want to say it wrong. I am a millennial. Yeah, the trash pail kids. Yes. I was right. I always am. Just kidding. Trash pail kids. Okay, so yeah, this is all about like overindulgence. It's like to the point where things are getting a little sketchy, right? No, it doesn't have to be sketchy, but that's the vibe that I get when I see this card. I'm like, you've stayed too long at the party. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning and you're thinking, I'm starting to realize the sun's going to be coming up pretty soon, right? And everything does not look as rosy and beautiful as it did earlier in the night. You know what I mean? So kind of take that energy, that feeling, and apply it to this card. Hopefully we can just say it has nothing to do with the actual tea leaf reading. Sometimes the card, it does not necessarily apply to you. It could be somebody within your orbit. But we'll see. We're going to see. All right. Bang, bang, bang. Knock, knock, knock. And we're going to take a look at these tea leaves. We're going to see what's going on. I know my hands, I was tie-dyeing today. We had a snow day, quite a blizzard actually. My daughter has been home all day and we've been doing all kinds of different arts and crafts and games and so on and so forth. All right, so it appears to me that we have kind of this very dualistic pair right here. One here, one over here, okay? So this one looks like somebody who is probably very magical, intuitive. I feel like this is a feminine person, okay? We have the head here, we have the body, arm out. It looks like we have a bird right down here at the feet and a star above the head, okay? I just get a very whimsical feeling. Whimsical, beautiful in a very kind of like lived way, worldly, wise, kind. That's the feeling I keep getting. Kind, caring, nurturing. Okay. Now over here we have somebody who is very much more angular looking, and and it doesn't have to be like the physical appearance, but I get the feeling that this is somebody who is very like, show me the facts. Like if it's not something that can be rationalized or worked out with logic, it's not within the physical world, it's, you know, it's made up. It's BS, basically. This is a real materialist, right? Somebody who is not very interested in the mysteries of life, right? At least the supernatural, the magical, the occult, the religious even. But it seems like these two people, and I'm wondering if you are one of them, I see them in union or coming into union with one another. There is a deep connection. Now, between the two, we have other things going on, but the thing that really sticks out to me is We have the arrow. We actually have 2 arrows right here. We also have a house right here, okay? So this tells me that it has not been easy, and it almost kind of looks like we have these 2 people on the outer, but then you see them kind of meeting. They're getting closer, closer, closer. Now, the bird that is sitting here is actually flying right here towards the person that would be these 2 go together. These 2 go together, right? And it's the same person. It's just kind of like they've walked inwards towards where the house is. The bird is flying. The bird represents a message, okay? Something to say. Now, this person is holding a dog. You can see the dog is kind of right here. The person is holding on to their collar. And to me, this really is kind of the presentation of a deep and undying loyalty, okay? The dog represents the best friend, the ride or die, the loyal, companion, right? This person has the bird, is intuitive, is magical. I see both showing up with their best qualities, okay? Being vulnerable, open with one another, and yes, merging their lives together. This loyalty matched with this intuition, this ability to communicate, this ability to reveal. This person is all about getting things done in the physical world, probably pretty on point, really good at their, getting their responsibilities done, staying on task, doing the thing all the way to completion, right? Now, this other person, probably similar, but living in a different realm a lot of the times. Now, they meet each other in the middle. They balance each other out, okay? So I feel like this is a really important connection. Now, we have the arrows, so I assume that this is a romantic connection, although it doesn't have to be any kind of romance that, we immediately think of, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, girl, whatever. All the different configurations, that one can have with one or many people. It doesn't matter, right? Not everybody's monogamous, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I actually, I'm always like, I don't know. This is my first really like super monogamous relationship with my husband. And not that I was like, it doesn't matter what I was before. I was just kind of old school, open relationship, whatever. And yes, I was married before and all that. So, and I did not get divorced from my first husband. He passed away. I have to qualify myself by explaining that. But yeah, when I talk about relationships on here, I always want to remind myself and everybody that it doesn't always have to look like what we consider to be like the standard for a relationship. It could look like anything. People have all kinds of different configurations for how they love and how they, continue to be with other people, to be with somebody else. And there's no judgment here. We don't judge. So, but in this case, right, I am just looking at these 2 people for right now. That doesn't mean it's only the 2 people. And it doesn't mean that it is this like, romantic, sensual, physical, even living in the same home or sharing, financial responsibility. It doesn't have to be all of that. But what it is like the love of your life. I mean, that's really what I feel. Like, I feel like this is the perfect, like opposites attract kind of situation. And I know, not a lot of people like love readings on here, but I see it and it's so important. And now, I don't know that this is happening right now. And I kind of wonder if, sadly, this is something that's already happened, transpired. Now we have the Seven of Cups. So we do have this kind of feeling of debauchery, right? Now, does that mean that there was some kind of like overindulgence maybe? Immediately I wonder, like, was this thing affected by something like addiction, or maybe just not like a common goal that both were working towards? It could be infidelity, or just like, you have something you're passionate about. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it was going to school, working, building up your life, your money, whatever. And that took priority. And, and to the other person, it could be like, they're overindulging their need to be prominent, or their need to make money and be middle class, or, whatever. And so I wonder if this is kind of one of those things that you lament. These things that you think, well, maybe we can figure this out. We can get back together. Maybe it's been, some years. Maybe it's been decades. But I feel like there is this yearning, this wanting. Now, down here it looks like it says Tom. T-O-M, okay, Tom. And I'm just looking, it just I-N, it could be the word in, but it also could be like Indiana or some other abbreviation. Now we also have a boat, we have another dog, and this one looks happy, okay. And then we have two people, again, meeting with each other. So I wonder if there is, like, maybe you are trying to court this person again, or maybe you're married. Maybe you're together and you've grown apart. You've just been going through the motions for, a while or some years or whatever. And you are reawakening within this relationship and thinking, my goodness, I want us to be together. I want us to grow together. I want us to be interested in each other, to want for each other, all the things, all the wonderful things that can be within, an involved relationship. Now, it's not always that way, and it's work to get there. Even within my own, and I know I'm talking about my marriage a lot today, but listen, sometimes I'm working stuff out too in my own head as I'm doing this. Sometimes, especially when we were first together, even though I had been married before, I've had other relationships, and so is he, obviously. And still there's this thing that happens where you feel like almost naively that, everything should just fall into place because we love each other and, we're so complementary. We like each other. We like to hang out. We like to talk. We like to do stuff together. We're very successful together. We're great. We have a business. All of this should be easy though. And it should all fall into place. And if it doesn't, then something's wrong. Well, that's not how life works all the time. Especially when there's more than one person involved, right? Especially if you have a family and you have stressors and you have this and that. No, it is work. It is work. It is every day choosing somebody, choosing yourself, choosing the other person, and trying to figure out how are we going to align? How are we going to find our balance? That's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worthwhile until it's not, right? If it gets to the point where it's not, then it's, then we know it's time to move on. But, like for me, I'm not giving up, right? Even when things feel way too much, I'm not giving up. And thankfully, I don't think my husband is either. Hopefully not. Babe, if you're listening to this, I love you. Let's be together forever. but yeah, I don't know. You know, it sometimes, right? It does. It takes something to jolt you awake, to remind you that, like, this is worth it. I chose all this for a reason, right? And now we got to work on it. Now, it might be, though, that, yeah, there already has been the breakup, and maybe there is a sense of wanting to reach out. Now, if you know my readings, you know I always tell you, don't do it. It's never worth it. Don't go back. Don't go back. But listen, sometimes you know. You just know, right? I'm not ever going to feel the same if I know this person's out there and I don't at least try, you know. And I feel like that's kind of maybe the energy we have here. Now, we also have the name Lou, L-O-U, okay, Lou. And this is a different part here. We have, it looks like an older crone person over here. We have love over and over. Love, love, love. And this is a person who is highly psychic, clairvoyant, maybe a medium. Because they have, you can see the person here, right? Let me get my stick. Here's the head, body, and then above the head is, yeah, it looks like some kind of imagery coming from the back of the head, okay? It looks like a deer. The deer is, well, the most sacred deer. It is a symbol of a spiritual event that is going to occur. Some kind of encounter, something that will be noticeable, not something that you will miss. I see you making some choices here. I see you kind of really leaning in towards your belief, whatever it is, right? If it's religious, spiritual, occult, esoteric, scientific, whatever. Maybe fully atheist, agnostic. I don't even know. Nihilist. I don't know, right? Whatever. It doesn't matter. I see you really leaning into your beliefs, your whatever makes life more meaningful for you, right? I can always feel when I'm getting away from my beliefs, my convictions, my virtues. I start to feel very much like a robot going through the motions, very much on autopilot, and doing whatever I can to stay distracted from life, from hard things, easy things, whatever. I don't care. I just don't want to be involved, right? And this is when I know I got to start reeling it back in. I need to start forcing myself to do my practices, my meditations, keeping my altars, making sure I'm getting up, I'm moving my body, you know, I'm ingesting things that benefit my overall health, nutrients, right? Just really getting to the basic things, the sleep, how we're eating, moving our bodies, drinking enough water, getting fresh air, all that stuff. I know, boring, 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 but that's our foundational level. And then, you know, once we get that stuff taken care of, we can start thinking about these higher thinking things, these higher feeling things, the meditation, the ritual ceremonies, the studying. You know, if you partake in magic, if you partake in religious practices, you know, and the self-development, the healing, the self-archaeology, right? Looking through our histories, learning about ourselves, you know, and really creating a space where we can do that safely and feel vulnerable with ourselves and so on. So I feel like there is this energy in your life. And I don't know that this is actually a physical person, or if this is maybe like an entity that you have known for a long time, maybe like almost like a fairy godmother, a guardian angel, a daemon that does kind of at times appear in your mind's eye, in your dreams, in your physical space, even as an older woman in that crone archetype. Okay. So I feel like this is where you kind of find that reprieve. You find what's it called? When you're letting steam off the wheel, what is the word? The handle, the wheel, I don't know, whatever. And the valve, right? You open the valve and let off some steam. And it feels like as you allow yourself to do the things that you know uphold ease in your life, make your life like a landscape that's easy to navigate, to get through. You're feeling confident. You're feeling like you're on top of things. And getting into the spiritual practices, I think, really helps with the clarity that you really kind of, I think, need to assist you in the other stuff we've been talking about with the love and the trying to, reconnect and work through some stuff, some process, some pain and conflict and, whatever's gone on. And, and I feel like this is where you become quite successful, in this work. Okay. If you put your mind to things, if you become quite intentional about something, it's almost impossible for you to fail. And so that's true of our relationships and our relationships with ourselves as well. Okay, so we have carrying a lot of stuff. I see we have a person here and carrying all this stuff around. So I'm wondering, now we have a person on top of this person who's laying down. Kind of reminds me of Kali and Shiva, actually. And we have fish. We have 3 fish. So I feel like you will be working a lot here in this next cycle. Maybe taking some overtime, maybe a side hustle, an extra job, whatever. But I see the money coming in, and I see you being wise with it, putting some away, paying off debts, having a financial plan. Okay, so this feels like you're starting to get to a place where you are meeting your goals, really, and superseding them, really, I think is what's going to happen here. So more money than you expect. I think a lot of it is focusing on, the financial planning and being kind of strict with yourself, I know it's hard. It's difficult. I've spent most of my adult life, in poverty, really. That's just straight up, right? Not middle class by any means. And so I know what it's like to struggle, I waited tables, for years. That was my main gig. And, it's not easy, but it's doable. It is doable, right? So, yeah. All right, Taurus, let's do our 3 lucky numbers. Number 62. Number 50. 62, 50, and 33. Wonderful. Now we'll finish off with our self-care affirmation cards. I'm going to flip through, stop where it feels right. Oh my gosh, here we go. Enchanted encounter. Ooh. I am surrounded by friends, family, animals, and nature. I connect with the world around me and I am nurtured by these enchanted encounters. I am loved and accepted within my community. I am not alone. I am not alone. All right. Well, Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you want to subscribe or leave a comment, I want to hear from you. Other than that, again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night, Taurus. Good night. Good night.